Good afternoon. It is Friday, September 18th. If this is your first time joining me, welcome. You have found the Creating with Cindy channel, and on this channel I have both card making videos and cross stitch videos. So this is Flosstube number 12. So this is a cross stitch video. So if you're here looking for card making, then you may not want to watch this one. So I have joined something new. I've never done this before, but I found, and I don't even remember how I came across it, but I found a Facebook group that is doing like a cross stitch game, and it's called Crystal Academy. And we had some homework that we had to do before last weekend, or before last Monday, and then they were going to sort us into dorms, and now we've got classes that we're doing and different things we have to do. But it's really been a lot of fun. Like I said, I've never done anything like this, but it's really helped me focus on getting some stitching done. So I'm going to share with you some of the work I've gotten done for that, because that's what I've been focusing on. But they'll give you, like, for the homework before we got sorted into dorms, I can't remember what all of the different tasks or prompts were, but one of them was to stitch 200 stitches in one color. So for that one, I have been working on my dressmaker's daughter, so I did a lot more of this background. So that was an easy one to do 200 stitches in one color. So that was one of the tasks we had to do. This is what the full project will look like. I feel like this is summer that I'm working on now. I feel like I've been working on summer forever. Which I work on it some and I work on something else, so it's not like I've been focused on it. One of the other projects that I did for the homework before we got sorted was this, and I can't remember what the tasks were. We had to stitch 200 stitches, but I don't remember what maybe it was just on some work, some whip, I don't remember. But the one I've been working on is this. It's my Christmas list. And so this is where so I got the bed and the time for bed done, and the stockings and hang your stockings. So I got a lot done on it. Like I said, this has really been helping me focus on getting some stuff done on my whips, because I have a lot. I don't even want to go count how many I have. So then after that, we posted our homework. We had to post, there were 3 different homework assignments we had, and then we had to, anyway, it doesn't matter. And then we had to post how many stitches we did for the whole week. So once we did all that, then they sorted us into dorms. And so I'm in the Manticore dorm, which I had to look it up. It's a animal from Harry Potter. It's a body of a lion, the head of a man, and the tail of a scorpion. So anyway, they're all, most of them I think are not real animals. Well, there's a few that are, but anyway, they put us all into dorms, and now we have 2 weeks to complete our assignments as a dorm. So we're learning spells, and eventually we're going to be using those spells on the other dorms in a game where we compete against each other. And so to earn the spell, you have to complete 20 tasks under that spell as a dorm. And there's 2 tasks for these 2 weeks. And each task is 300 stitches of something. And I'll tell you what I used, what the different prompts were that I did some stitching on. So you have to complete 20 for each spell that you're trying to learn. And as an individual, if you don't contribute any task to that spell, then you can't use that spell. So if I didn't do anything on this one spell at all, then I couldn't use it if I was in a competition or I forget what they call it, against somebody else. So you want to be sure that you do at least one task on each spell. So there are 9 of us, I think, in our dorm, and we've got, I don't know how many tasks we've completed so far. I've completed 3, and I know several of the other ladies have completed several too. But we have until a week from Monday, I think it is, to finish the rest of them. So the first task that I did was, I forget the name of the spell. It's like Ignitica. It's something to do with flames. I should have brought that paperwork with me so I could tell you a little bit better. But under that, there were 3 different tasks that you could do. Something that had flames, something that would emit sparks, and something that you could cook. So for my first one, I did something that you could cook. And so I worked on this apple and sage from Hands On Design. So I did, and it's in French. So I did the POM, this big apple, and then the brown in between. So that was 300 stitches because you can cook apples. You can put them in an apple pie and cook them. So that was my something you could cook. And then my something with flames. You didn't have to be actually working on the piece of the chart that had flames. You just had to, the chart itself had to have some. So this is what I was working on. It's also French, bord de mer or something. It's about the sea. And so this, whoops, this lantern up here, that would have flames. So, but I'm working on the anchor part of it. So I did all the blue. So there's some blue here, here, and then up here. So again, that was 300 stitches or a little more. It doesn't have to be exactly, it has to be at least 300. And then for the other spell, one of the things you could do was a whip that had two things in it, one that started with a T and one that started with an N. And so somebody else had asked, can you do an animal because it has a nose and a tail? And they said, yes, that will work. So I worked some on this sheep heap. This is Plum Street. And so I finished my, excuse me, my 300 stitches last night. So you can kind of see there's these white flowers. That's all I had done before I started. So I filled in all of this and got his head and his little feet. So that was for something with an N and a T. And then today I started on something that would, for the second spell, something that would have shards or shrapnel if it exploded. And again, somebody had asked about this and they said, yes, that would work. As long as you can come up with a good reason to use it, then they're pretty good about saying, yes, you can use that. So this is the autumn seasonal celebration from Country Cottage. And so what I said was, well, if the house exploded because the hot water heater exploded, then there would be shrapnel and shards everywhere. We actually had that happen to a house here in Little Rock where I live. And so I saw the aftermath of that and it was destroyed. It was just leveled. So I worked on just the roof of the house is all I've done so far. So I have not completed this one yet. I haven't done 300 stitches. The other prompt I have to do is something that has sparks. So somebody had asked, excuse me, somebody had asked if you could use a tree, because a tree, if you rub two branches together, it will emit sparks. And they said, yes, that was fine. So I've got plenty of whips that have trees. The other thing I thought of is somebody asked if they could use a couple kissing, because that would be sparks. Well, I have a wedding sampler that I've been working on. And so I would think a bride and groom could also emit sparks. So I'm going to use probably one or both of those, depending on how many more tasks we need. So it's been a lot of fun. And like I said, it's really kept me focused. And it's just been, you know, something new and different. And we have a chat group so we can chat back and forth and talk about what else we need or who's going to do what. But it's really been a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm going to show you a little bit of stash. So this is Waxing Moon Designs. Blessings Abound. I just thought it was so cute. I really like that. And then I had picked up the floss for this earlier, but my local needlework store didn't have the charts ready yet, so I picked it up last weekend when I was in there. And this is Ghosties and Gourds by Hands On. So it's a banner. And I think it says Boo. I think she's, yeah, it says a banner year. I think she's planning on doing, I watched one of her Flosstubes, and I think she's planning on doing several of those that you can use throughout the year. And then this is, sorry, I've got a tickle. Hands On Design also. This is the autumn Chalk Talk or whatever it is. Yeah, Chalk Talk. Isn't that pretty? I don't know if I'll do it on the black or if I'll do it on something else. And it's got these little, I don't know if you saw these little ones down here too. But really pretty. Okay, and then this I'd seen somebody had done, was working on it, and I'd seen it on Facebook, and they had said where they ordered it. And it came in this really pretty bag. It's a Russian design. So let me just take it out of the bag so you can see. And it is called World of Book. Whoops. It's just beautiful. Let me get a little bit closer so you can see. So I love designs that have houses, and I love to read, so this was just perfect for me. So when I went to my LNS last weekend, I looked for some fabric because I'm thinking the top of it, oh, I already put it back in. The top of it, that's all stitched. But I don't know that I want to stitch all of that. I'll probably stitch the bottom, that's the road. But I got this fabric, and I don't know, this Vintage Country Mocha, I think is what it is. But it's kind of got that variegated, if you can see. So I think that'll look fine for the top. I won't have to stitch it, and then I can just stitch the road. Okay, and then one last thing to show you. I decided to try my hand at making project bags because I have so many projects going at one time. I need lots of bags. And so I went to a local quilt store and picked up a pattern. And so this was the first bag I made. I'm gonna hold it back just a little bit. And I followed the pattern exactly like they said. And it's just got a, it has a pattern, or it's just got a plain brown inside. So I followed the pattern exactly like it said, but it won't hold like my magnetic board. It's too small. So I thought, well, it's just a square. I can figure out how to make it bigger. So I did. This one was I think this was my second one. So my parents grow orchids and have for years and years and years. I mean, as long as before I was born. And so this one, I tried to match it up so it looked like it was kind of continuous, which didn't turn out too bad. I didn't allow enough for the zipper, so it kind of spread it out more than it should have. And this fabric, I've learned, is really flimsy. And the inside of this one is just a pink. Has a little bit of a design to it. But the size on this was much better. So I've got some more of this fabric so I can make one for my mom. But I was trying to test it out first before I made anything for her on myself. And then this is my favorite one so far. So this is butterflies, which I love. And it just has, whoops, it's stuck. It just has a blue inside. So I've had a lot of fun. They're not hard patterns. They can't be because I'm not a great seamstress, but I've had a lot of fun making those. And so then I've had fun buying fabric to make more. So now I have something else to spend my time on besides working full-time and having a stamping business and stitching. Now I can make bags, but I'm not making them to sell. I'm not good enough to do it, and I don't have time to make for anybody else. So I'm just making them for myself. Okay, I think that's all I have to share with you today. Hopefully it won't be as long before I'm back to show you more progress on what I'm doing. All right, thanks for joining me. Bye.